Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be stupid things guys do for love. Well, I got 4 emails that I'm going to go through here today, and some of these things, as I read them, you're going to be going. So there's definitely going to be a few, come on, man, phrases as I go through these. So before we get into it, I got a quote that I'd like to share with you, which is what these guys really should be focusing on, and is the reason why things aren't going so well for them. And it says, instead of being focused on whether or not someone likes you, focus on what you can give authentically from your heart in order to make them feel special. Give the gift of your smile, an authentic compliment, your time, your presence, your embrace, etc. If you only focus on what you want from them, it will cause you to come off as manipulative, inauthentic, controlling, approval-seeking, creepy, weird, etc. See yourself as a gift to others and act accordingly. Those who appreciate the gift of you and want more will give back. When you give to a giver, the giver will give back. Takers will only suck. So let's get into the first guy's email. He says, "Hey coach, greetings and congratulations on teaching men how to be men. Well, I also coach a lot of women. About 10% of my clients are women as well, just so you know." He says, "This is important not only in relationships but in life as well. Here's my question. I met a very beautiful, articulate, intelligent, and fit girl on a website called Seeking Arrangement. I'm 45 and she is 25. No kids and she's never been married. I am married." Oh, so you're cheating on your wife. That's nice. I wonder what she thinks about that. He says the website links up potential sugar daddies with sugar babies. Oh, so you're basically using each other. You're using her for sex and she's using you for your money. So in essence, it's kind of, she's a prostitute, if you will. She's prostituting herself. He says, we met almost 2 years ago and had many things in common. Great chemistry, conversation, etc. We see each other twice a week since we live an hour and a half apart. I drive to her location most times. She contacts me in between dates and loves the fact that I am lots of fun as we hang out, have fun, and of course hook up each and every time. We enjoy each other's company, and she says, the sex is great and I agree. Kind of like the girl that works at the titty bar that thinks you're so fascinating and so interesting. Hey, how about $20 for a lap dance? He says, here's the problem. The website is based upon a mutually beneficial relationship, aka horse trading. She receives a monthly allowance and at times she does her nails and I buy her select clothing items. For my birthday, she bought me an expensive shirt. She's very sweet, but it bothers me that the relationship is based upon the above issue. See, here you went into the relationship obviously looking to hook up and have some fun outside your marriage, and now you're projecting your fantasy of an ideal woman onto this kind of a website. But don't you think for a second a woman that had her shit together emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically would have the self-confidence to go and get a good paying job and to take care of herself and be able to attract a good quality man? Think about it. Hello? It's like, come on, man. He says, she states that she went on the website to look for a benefactor to help her mother who has no income due to a workman's comp case and cannot pay her rent. So she moved in with her mom to help, and that is when she went on this website since she cannot make it with her income to help her mother. She's a bit high maintenance. She likes me and communication is good. I was like, she doesn't want to fuck up her meal tickets. Like, come on, dude. He says, our time together is great, but we have only spent 7 nights together since we met. Hello, McFly. It's like, come on, man. He says, chemistry is great, and once she even brought a girlfriend for a threesome without any expectations. Well, that's a nice bonus. It's like, why would you want to fuck this up, dude? It's like, obviously, it doesn't sound like you have any desire to no longer be married to your wife and you're enjoying the hookup. So keep hooking up with her. He says, what concerns me is her high maintenance and the fact that I give her dollars every month. It's like, dude, that's the deal. That's what you got into. It's like when you go to a titty bar. It's like, hello, you want to meet a girl, you want to see a girl, and the girl wants your money, so she's gonna act like she's really interested in you, and you're fascinating, and this and that, and all those great things. It's like, this is not a relationship. This is just a mutually beneficial sexual relationship that involves dollars exchanging hands. He says, I'm attractive, well-groomed, work out, and I'm a professional. She is my mistress, essentially, but I love her. Come on, man. He says, how should I proceed? If you really want to have a great relationship with a woman, then get out of your marriage and become single and start dating women instead of projecting your fantasy onto this chick that obviously has no problem using, because you're probably just one of several guys that she's hooking up with. It's like, dude, you're deluding yourself if you think that you're the only guy. Just like you're the only guy that goes and gets lap dances from your favorite titty dancer. It's like, come on, man. He says, I would like this to be on even terms without any dollars involved. She states that she would be with me even without it. Oh yeah, we'll cut her off and see how long she sticks around. He says, but her lifestyle probably would not allow it. Duh. He says, how should I proceed? Continue hooking up and having great sex, and then when you find somebody that you can really have a great relationship with, then get involved with her. And stop leading your wife on. That's bullshit, man. You shouldn't do that to your wife. It's not fair to her. It's not fair to you. And think about what you're doing here. You're involved in horse trading. This isn't a real relationship. It's like, grow a set of balls, apply the things that I teach, and start meeting and dating other women that are actually single and available, and not women that are looking to use a guy for money, or probably multiple guys in her case. So let's get on to the second email. This guy says, Corey, me and my girlfriend of 1 year and 3 months have broken up for about 2 months now. She said she was holding me back from seeing her friends, which were guys, and that my over-jealousy and assumptions ruined us. Now, after 2 months of blowing up her phone, stalking her on Twitter, and constantly getting mad when she won't tell me what she's doing or who she's with, and that she says there's no chance of us ever getting back together. Yeah, it's like, I know you see that in movies all the time, acting like a stalker and acting creepy and weird and blowing up her phone, and it doesn't work in real life. She's like, doesn't want anything to do with you at this point. He says, and I completely fucked things up. I always say she's lying when she says a guy is just a friend. He says, I think she still loved me, but was just tired of always being hurt. She's just tired of your bullshit, your weak, needy, insecure jackassery. She's over it, dude. He says, what should I do, and is it too late to get her back? I'd say move on with your life and stop stalking her. She's already told you to leave her alone. Apply the things that I teach in my book so you can attract someone new. And part of your problem is the whole purpose of a relationship is you go there to give. And here you're looking to take and you're looking to possess this woman. Just like the quote that I shared with you. You're focused on the wrong thing. And the reason that you're acting this way is because at the end of the day, you don't value what you bring to the table. You think what you bring to the table is dog shit. And therefore, that's why you act controlling. That's why you act jealous. That's why you blow up her phone. That's why you stalk her, because you don't perceive yourself as having any kind of value at all. And therefore, that's why she has all these guy friends in her life, is because she's, who knows, maybe she's sleeping with a few of them or dating a few of them. At the end of the day, she obviously knows that you ain't got all your ducks are not in a row. It's like your balls haven't fully dropped yet. So if I were you, it's time to move on and meet somebody new and do things right from the beginning and stop seeking to possess a woman, because all you're going to do is drive every woman away if you continue acting this way. I mean, what's the definition of insanity? It's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So let's get into the third email. The guy says, hey, Coach, first I wanted to say that I love your work and I share it with all of my guy friends and recommend your book. Well, thank you. I always appreciate the referrals. He says, I went on a date with this girl, had a great time. I charmed her, we held hands, and overall, we had a good date. I could tell from the beginning that she was very much interested in me. A few days later, one of my friends was teasing me about her. Well, what this tells me is that you're talking to your guy friends about a girl that you're dating, and you should never fucking do that. What's the title of this video? Stupid Things Guys Do for Love. And obviously, what I'm, when I get into this guy's email, you're gonna see what stupid thing is that he does here. But women like a guy that can keep his mouth shut, that doesn't go and blab. That's why I don't talk about the women that I'm dating and what happens with them. I talk about girls from the past relationships and things of that nature. And the reason being is because a lot of the girls I'm dating, they actually watch my videos and they see my videos. And they're paying attention to those things. They like it when a guy can keep his mouth shut. Gentlemen, don't kiss and tell. It's like, keep the shit to yourself. So he says, a few days later, one of my friends was teasing me about her, and I had lost a bet before, and he decided to use his end of the bet by saying I should text this girl, hey, I've got a secret. You're pretty, and I think I like you. Come on, man. I think what it was is you were just looking for, because you're talking about her and gushing about her, and you're like, oh, that's a great idea. I'll just text that to her. It'll make her like me even more. You're not looking to give anything to her. You're looking to take something from her. You're looking to create some kind of response so she starts giving to you or giving you what it is that you want. It's a bad way to go. You're focused on the wrong thing. He says, so I did. Her response was that she enjoyed the date but was not quite at that stage yet. He says, I responded to her text later in the day saying that it had been a joke based off of the bet that I had with my friend and that I was sorry for any awkwardness. Now you already put one foot in your mouth. Now you stuck the other foot in your mouth and with your shoes on to boot. He says, I hadn't had the foresight to see how badly this would turn out. Like, come on, man. What did you think was going to happen? He says she became offended and immediately became cold. She told me that she didn't think it was fair that we were joking at her expense, and because of this, she wouldn't want to go out in the future. It's like it's like women focus, when they go out with a guy, they're focused on, what they're thinking about is this a good guy for me? They're not thinking, does he like me? Because they know if you're talking to them that obviously you like her. But a lot of times, guys, what we focus on is, does she like me? If I ask her out, am I going to get rejected? Am I going to look stupid? Are my friends going to accept me? And so you need to come from the place of, is this a good woman for me? And take the next step, which is to focus on giving to her, being who you are, giving the gift of you, giving the gift of your presence and your time. So you were trying to use the whole thing to manipulate her in some way, and it blew up in your face. And she didn't like it, because she also didn't like the fact that you're talking to her or talking about her to your friends. So all she starts to think is, okay, so everything that happens between us, he's going to be blabbing, because he obviously can't keep his mouth shut, and you totally turned her off, dude. He says, I explained the situation to her, telling her that my friend was only teasing me because I was interested in her, and it wasn't supposed to be toying with her feelings. It's like, it doesn't matter at that point, dude. It's like, the damage is done. I then texted her saying that I understood why she was upset, and that if her mind changed, she should let me know. After this, I walked away like you always suggested and have had no contact. I'm in college, so I see her occasionally on campus, but she has never made any attempt to interact with me. All of this happened last week. Time to move on, dude. You fucked up. Don't do that shit in the future. Keep your mouth shut. There's an old Indian proverb. It says, if tried but not to know, keep mouth shut. In other words, if you don't want something getting back to her, keep your mouth shut. Don't tell your guy friends. Especially guys that know less about women than you do. It's like, hello. He says, I know I messed up in multiple ways, using the phone for more than setting dates, apologizing to her for joking with her, and joking about my interest in the first place. But that's the past. My question is, I understand it's my fault, and in her perspective, she probably felt like I didn't care about her at all and was just toying with her emotions. If I follow your walk away and never look back principle, wouldn't it justify to her that I really don't care? Should I be doing something else instead? Dude, she told you she doesn't want anything to do with you. You trying to use logic and reason to convince her to give her another chance, or give you another chance, is not going to work. Just suck it up. Man up, admit you fucked up, and walk away. And if she ever gets... Because you told her, get in touch with me if you change your mind. Well, then if you text her again, you're totally incongruent with that statement. Remember, women are thinking from the place of, is this a good guy for me? So what have you done to make her think that you're a good guy for her? So if you keep doing more of this, all it's going to do is confirm to her that, no, you're definitely not a good guy for her. She told you to leave her alone. It's like, leave her alone. Move on with your life, dude. Just don't do that bullshit again. And stop talking to your friends about the women that you date. They don't fucking like it. Remember, you got to understand, as women in society, they're worried about being labeled a slut. And if they're worried, if they think about, the way you're acting, if they go and have sex with you, oh, I fucking banged that girl the other night. That's what they're going to be thinking. It's going through their mind, that they're just another notch in your bedpost to them or to you. And it's not helping your case. So cut that shit out and stop talking to your friends about the girls you date. It's none of their fucking business. I learned that the hard way a long time ago. And even if they make wrong assumptions and they say you suck and this and that and you fuck up all your relationships, like, let them think whatever it is they think, because you and the women that you date, they know the truth. So let's get into the last guy's email. He says, hey Corey, I've watched a lot of your videos and I liked a woman for over a year in my building. That's a long time to like a girl without doing anything about it. He says, last month I finally grew a set and asked her out. Well, awesome for you. He says she said yes, then the date went very well, and she even said we have a lot more in common than I thought, and ended with a kiss and her walking into the wall. Must have been one hell of a fucking kiss. Good job, dude. Good job, Casanova. He says, over the course of the month, I would try to meet up, but she was constantly busy. I asked her out 2 more times, and she agreed, but had to cancel because of work. Something is amiss here. He says, the second time she offered a reschedule, and I said I was busy that day, but I am free another. She says she has a birthday party, and she will be out. That's why you always go, I can't then, but when are you free next? What other days are you free? When are you free to get together? That's the best way to go about it. He says she called me at 3 a.m. for pizza, and I went out, and she ended up back at my place for the night. Well, that's good. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. Since that night, she seemed to drift off, and I texted her the following day. You're over pursuing. Tells me you haven't read the book yet. He says, I did not see keep texting to dates only, so I applied this later. He says, I'm not the type that sends thousands of emails, and I respond to her text messages, and if I don't hear from her for days, I don't hear from her for days. After a couple of days, I got tired over the course of the month that I did not want a text buddy or a pen pal or even a friend for that matter. It's like in one sentence you're saying you wait for her to get back to you, and the next you're revealing the truth, which is you didn't wait. It's like that's why you're not getting away. You're acting needy, and that's why she blows you off, because you act like you don't have any value. You act like just the simple gift of you is not enough. In other words, you've got to overcompensate by over-texting, over-pursuing, over-calling, over-complimenting. That's the whole point of this topic of this video newsletter that we're going through. He says, and so he says, I read your book and I emailed her this. Come on, man. He says, this is what he sent. He says, I'm not interested in just friends or a text pal. I've been trying to hang out, so if you do not want the same thing, then we do not need to contact each other anymore. So this is basically you getting frustrated that you're not getting what you want from her, and you're like, I'm taking my toys, and I'm taking my toys home, and I'm not going to play with you anymore. He says, I do not want you to call or text me unless you want me. If you do, then you need to show me. Otherwise, it was great getting to know you. I wish you the best of luck, but I'm not willing to settle for anything less than what I want. I've got too much to offer. Come on, man. It's like, what are you thinking? He says she responded, hey, sorry, it's not that I'm not interested at all. In other words, she's not interested at all anymore. And I'm sorry you thought that. It's just that I might be moving. No, she says, I might be moving forward. Come on. And I don't want to get involved with someone when I could just end up getting hurt if I relocated. So I'm sorry. So what she's really saying is that you're focused on a relationship and locking her down to a commitment because you obviously feel like you lack something inside of yourself. And so you're trying to make up for it by over-texting her and over-calling her and over-pursuing her. And that's the problem. And she says, I do think you're a great guy. And then he responded, It took me a year to ask you out because of fear. It was one of the best things I ever did was to overcome it. It's like you got to think about when you send things like this, is this going to make me look confident and sexy and strong and like a guy who's used to getting what he wants? Or is this going to make me look like a weak ass bitch that hasn't had a date in 5 years? Or a date if ever? But if I didn't, I would have never known. We don't know what tomorrow will bring. If you ever change your mind, call me. But I'm interested in getting to know you to date you. Another translation, I'm interested in a relationship. Not just casually hanging out, having fun, and hooking up. Which is how we started out. But I overcomplicated things because I was focused on the fact that I felt like I lacked something inside. So I overcompensated by over-pursuing and acting weird and creepy instead of just hanging out, having fun, and hooking up and just seeing where it went. Because remember, women are focused, is this a good guy for me? That's where they're coming from. And when you act this way, all she knows is, because mostly every guy acts like this, she knows she's going to get hurt with you. And so right away, the little alarm bells go off, goes, no, this wouldn't be a good guy for me because I would end up getting hurt. And she even communicated that to you. Obviously not to specifically what it is, but she knows, she's dated enough guys to know that when she gets involved with guys like you, all she ends up doing is getting hurt. And that's why women bounce so quickly when you act this way, especially when you went out on one whole date with them. So he says, can you point out what I did wrong in my approach, or if I did it pretty well? You did everything great right up until the end of the first date. And then after that, you just like totally went off the rails. It's like, you obviously thought, I got a live one here, I got a great girl that's into me, and then you just couldn't handle it, and you just like totally came unglued. It's like you fell apart. He says, I took her out of my phone and I'm moving on. I still care about the woman, obviously, but I wear big boy pants and I want to move on. I told her what I wanted, and if she doesn't want the same thing, then she's not worth my time. Well, at the end of the day, you stated your purpose, and that's all you can do. If she texts you or she reaches out to you in the future, forget all this bullshit drama that you created here, this unnecessary BS, and just say, hey, babe, great to hear from you. I'd love to see you. When are you free to get together? Make a date to hang out, have fun, and hook up. It's as simple as that. And if you guys live in the same building, just say, hey, why don't we get together and make dinner at my place? Why don't you bring a bottle of wine over? And I'll take care of the food, and we'll make something great together. Then at some point during the dinner, when she's playing with her hair and she's touching your arm and she's leaning in across the table and her eyes are real big and wide, why don't you bring those beautiful lips over here and kiss me? That's what you say to her. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. Don't complicate things. Focus on what you can give to celebrate her, to light her up. Not what you can take from her, not what you can get from her, not how you can manipulate or cajole or control her into what it is that you want. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone coaching session. You can do that by going to my website, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.